Welcome to Mujeres Unscripted, where we amplify the voices of women through unique stories and shared identities. We're Christina,
And Renee.
and each week we dive into candid conversations about culture, career, and personal growth.
Join us as we celebrate the strength and resilience that connects us all. This
It's
is
Mujeres
Mujeres Unscripted.
Unscripted.
Hello and welcome to Mujeres Unscripted. I am Renee,
And I'm Christina.
and I'm so excited that you're here on this Monday evening with us. We just had a birthday in our household. Woohoo!
Woohoo, happy birthday.
She's 16. We've had we have a big family, but my 16-year-old, she just had her 16th birthday, and she wanted a dinosaur party.
A dino party.
A dino party, yeah. She's very much still into dinosaurs, and so she just was like, I just want a handful of friends. And so some friends came over, about 4 or 5 of them came over, and they drew, because they're all artists.
Aww.
And so we had paper form, and they were drawing and watched the Muppets and had a dinosaur party. But I was just thinking, is when I hear normal, quote unquote, not that my kid's not normal, but I know she has this desire for dinosaurs, but do most 16-year-old girls want that? Like,
Not today's.
right?
No, I don't think today's 16-year-old girl wants that. To me, that's doable. That's nice. It's intimate. It's special.
Mm-hmm.
When you can say, my core friends are here, and this is, to have that special time with each other. To me, that's I would have loved that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think today's 16-year-old girl wants that.
No.
No.
She's very mature thinking, because I was like, I didn't realize I just needed like a core group, your people. You always thought that I needed everybody to be my friend, So I like that she's like the complete opposite in that fact, where she very much knows who she is, okay with who she is, and wants her dinosaur party.
Yeah, I think if it's not like technology or something where they could go together, yeah, I think that's what they're looking for
Yeah.
nowadays. And I can understand it too. After now that we're fully out of COVID mode, but wanting to go hang out and not have that parent watching.
Yeah.
I think that's what they definitely want. And if it's not electronic, you're out of luck.
That's my 14-year-old. He's like, the electronics and games is his department, but hers is very much dinosaurs and art. So.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, happy belated. I saw some of her work online, and I thought it was beautiful. We talked about it in the car. We thought it was gorgeous.
Oh,
On our way from Austin, because it came up on my feed, and I was like, "Look at this!" And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome!" She is great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Not for me. I mean,
beautiful talent.
when I do states and stuff in the classroom, my kids laugh at my students, because I'm like, here's a square.
Uh huh.
That's Cambodia. Here's another rectangle. That's Vietnam.
No, you don't.
I do. I do, because I just can't draw. She gets that from her dad and some
And the
uncles.
circle.
And the circle. Yeah, I can do that.
There's the city.
So when my students are like, Miss, I can't draw, I'm like, do you see what's on the board? Come on
Me
now.
neither. So we're doing it.
It's like, as long as you try. It's like, you see my masterpieces, they're stick people. So, but no, yeah, she got that from her dad and some of her uncles on my mom's side of the family. They draw, but I am no artist by any means. But we did look up that one that you said, that you asked if it was.
Yeah, is that Mary?
We don't know, because she got it from a Pinterest board.
Okay.
And so it was just a bust from the Pinterest board, and we tried to kind of find it, look at it, and I was like, I don't want to say for sure, because we don't know if it was specifically that
Right.
one.
I think they were saying in the car that it was a Michelangelo, and um, it is where it's a statue where Mary is holding the body of Christ, right? So
That
and
one.
she's
Okay.
looking up at the sky, and yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. But we, as soon as I showed it to the fellas in the car, they were like, "That is awesome!" So
Yeah.
Give her kudos to that.
Thank you, thank you. I'm like, you need to sell some of that so you can buy you some more art stuff.
Yeah. Make postcard or cards, greeting cards, something. It's
Something.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Religious cards, yeah.
Well,
But yeah, we have an 18th birthday coming up in August, and but you know what? And maybe because he's on the spectrum, I don't know. Again, we're always finding new things out about the boy, and one thing he's always had the small, intimate
mm-hmm.
birthday parties. He's never liked to have it at big places. The noise just he just
My
rather
kids
be,
also.
pizza
Mm-hmm.
and cake, mom, pizza and cake and ice cream every now and then at the house, and he always calls on four of his fellas. And then, but this time, he's asked for an interesting instrument, and it is the lap guitar. So I don't
The
know,
the
guys.
lap guitar.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so let me research that. And I'm like, oh, when did he become musical? But I'm open to letting my kid
So it's
try
it
things, and
it's a guitar
yeah,
that goes in your lap.
yeah, and it does the whole yeah, yeah,
Y'all have fun with that.
and it's got the picks, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't see this one coming. So but I want to see where it goes. I've always told him I want to see where it goes, but
You have fun with that. You have a
hey,
good
it's
time.
not the drums. It's
Yes.
not the drums.
The drums
So
might be.
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
It might be at the trash can by the end of August. Sorry, son. This is going. Maybe we'll have a yard sale. Maybe.
Okay. Well, good luck to the lap guitar. 18. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's yeah. It just in blink of an eye it happens.
You were pregnant
Y'all
with
know
him
this.
when I met you.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. These
So
kiddos.
my baby is yeah. But I'm not there yet. I'm not that emotional yet. So I'm keeping it together.
As
Mondo will watch me like, oh no, but we're on our way to Austin to pick him up from swim camp, and the song from "You'll Always Be in My Heart," the Phil Collins
yeah,
song,
yeah, yeah.
and of course I recognize it from Tarzan, and
Mhm.
and so I'm just, I'm singing it, and then all of a sudden I start getting that lump in my throat, and I'm like, I can't sing this anymore because I'm about to start crying,
Mhm.
and I turn out to just look outside so I can get myself back together, and I'm just like, don't do it, don't cry, don't cry. Well, unbeknownst to me, Mondo's making sure he doesn't start crying. And so once the song's over, I'm like, dude, I couldn't handle it. He looks at me and goes, me neither, dude. So we're both going through some moments lately. We're starting to realize it's about to happen, and
Mhm.
on purpose we called him on the phone, like, oh, to let him know we were on our way, but we really wanted to hear his baby voice because he still has that outgoing message that
Yeah.
sounds like like a 10-year-old boy. And I was just like, this is not good for us, Dad, and we need to do better. We need to do better. So we're keeping it together. We're keeping it together.
Well, I don't know if you know this. I might have told you, but all the live videos are going to be gone. Like Facebook is trashing them. So if you don't have them recorded,
Download it or something. Okay,
yeah.
good.
So,
I'll do that.
but I was going. I spent this past week in the times that I had, nothing to do.
Ew.
And
With
so
how many kids?
I know, right? And so I would go on Facebook and I download them or whatever, but I'd watch them, and then they start off from now and they go backwards in time, and so I'm just like, I'm really in my feels right now, because
Mm.
that's my Simi when he was born, and now he's about to be 10, and oh look, this is his first walking video, and yeah, I
That's
was,
insane.
mm-hmm,
It's real.
yeah,
Those emotions that you and I as a parent are gonna go through, as one by one leave. It's real. These are, and you got to either tell yourself, You either keep it together or, take care of it on your own.
Mm-hmm. No,
So,
I
yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna be at Alicia's when she graduates, and I've told her this. I said because at her eighth grade ceremony, I was a mess.
You were a mess.
I was a mess, and I'm like, this is just her leaving elementary school because I mean it goes to eighth grade, going on to high
Mm.
school. I'm like, that's it. Imagine the day it comes. I'm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
That's hard.
I think a little bit, and you probably feel this too. Is I wish my mom was here
Yes. Yes.
for all these
To ask
big
them,
things, and
to
yeah,
ask them those questions like, how did you handle it?
yeah,
Yeah. I get those moments too.
yeah. So that's why I was like, I think it's worse because I'm like, I think that was like, and then my mom would be sitting here, and then and it's just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Speaking of asking our moms, jeez Christ. I'm wondering, I wish mom was here for these questions, but those of us going through perimenopause, menopause right now, there's this thing called frozen shoulder,
mhm,
and it's real. It is for real. Some people say that, oh, it's not a symptom, right? It shouldn't be a symptom, but because we're going through these hormonal changes, it's part of the package, right? And so, um, not only do I have one frozen shoulder going on, I have two.
well, can you
And
explain
so
what
what's
it is in case people don't
so
know what it is?
it is apparently it's very common in women as we lose uh, estrogen. We lose a lot of like flexibility in our joints
Mhm,
and the lubrication. I know of them, right? So what ends up happening is as we lose estrogen, they become inflamed, right? And so that causes the pains and the aches that we're going through. And of course, no one, no one has ever told me about this.
mm,
That, oh, by the way, as you start hitting your 40s, your 50s, 60s, you're going to have this
hmm.
also, not only with your internal organs and, everything that's changing, from smell to, you know, odor. I mean, just everything
Every
that
little
goes
thing is changing now. We
that
thought it was just
now
inside. Now it's outside too.
it's outside pain too. Yeah, it's the outside, right? Or of course they're internal, but no one tells us. And so, um, I it's funny because I realized it last summer. I thought I was gonna start my disc golf,
Mhm.
era, and there I am because I'm trying because I want to keep up with Mondo too, and he's an avid disc golfer, and I'm over there like I want to be part of the scene, and sure enough, I'm practicing in the backyard, and I'm throwing my discs, and I hear something snap, and I'm like, oh, did I just pull something? No. And when I went and got it checked out by the doctor, and she goes, no, you might have pulled something. She goes, but if you can still move it, it's fine. Well, it wasn't that. It was frozen shoulder
That's
syndrome.
crazy.
Yeah, and so what do you take? You take ibuprofen for it. Those of us who are already experiencing, you can take ibuprofen. But they also said, you can get injections like steroid
Mhm.
injections, hormonal therapy, which it's here or there for
Right.
that, or surgery. And it's like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick with my ibuprofen. But also take some supplements if you can. But yeah, it is definitely a common thing. Those of us who are going, and what are some things, right? So think about if you're trying to reach your, something up in your closet,
Mhm.
you can't reach it, right?
Wow.
Because your shoulder can only go so far
It's like you're a
because it's
T
painful.
Rex.
Yeah, I love, I love how you come full circle with some things. Yes, like you've got mini T Rex arms. I
Oh
love it.
wow.
I love it. And so, lifting anything, it will cause pain. So, welcome. If you start lifting a box and all of a sudden you can't lift it above your head, you've got frozen shoulder, and then also dressing yourself. And
Oh
that's when I
yeah.
realized my other shoulder was also going through it because I couldn't put my whole arm like in the yeah. I was like,
Oh
yeah, those shoulders
wow.
are shot.
Oh
And
man.
I was an athlete. And I like to think, oh, well, I was an athlete. I shouldn't, I did my little triathlons here and there. And no, no, it catches up to everybody.
Yeah. Wow. Yay, something else to look forward to.
Yay.
Oh my
Common
gosh.
in women.
This is why we're always mad, guys. This is why this is why we take stuff out on you because y'all don't go through this stuff. Like
No, they don't.
and I just sit there looking and be like, you don't feel pain. I
No,
mean, I know
they
he
don't.
does because, as you get older, everybody feels some kind of pain. But to the extreme of what I'm going through right now, like, you don't feel it. You
No.
don't feel it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And then he wonders why I'm looking at him crazy. Cause I'm like, I'm just sitting there because it's my.
I mean, I don't mean to, but I'm like, oh, you get to go play golf. You get to play
Yeah.
baseball. You get to go.
And I get
Not
to.
that he's hanging out with his boys. I'm
No.
fine with that. Is that you get to do
He has
it.
the mobility, the ability to
The
do.
mobility. I think that's key word, mobility. Who wants to lose that? I
Yeah.
sure as heck don't.
But even when you're on your menstrual cycle, because I get mine heavy,
Yeah.
I'm just laying in bed. I lose like 2 days because of it.
Yep.
Not them, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
What cycle?
Yeah.
There's no cycle. And at that point, don't try to be empathetic with me. That's
Just give me my chocolate, give me my
just
soda, and
and
leave
go
me
away.
alone. That's all I want. That is all. Just don't
Go away.
and if you do come back, don't get in my way of the bathroom because I don't know when I'll have to run to it. So
And I love this man. Everybody
Yes.
knows who knows me knows I love this man. But we were for 2 weekends in a row. We went to Austin and back, right?
Mhm.
So by yesterday, I kind of wanted to put that pillow somewhere where I just was like, I'm done. I'm done. So I left the bedroom and I went into the living room for a couple of hours. I'm like, okay, just relax. It's not him. It's not you. Love that man.
I'm not the only one that does it. I'm like, I love him.
No,
I love him. I love him.
no. I'm like, I love him. We're gonna make this not a problem. It's me. It's my hormones.
Yes. Let me pray
Unlimited
about it because
estrogen.
yes, yeah, but no. But speaking of relationships, the new Nelly and Ashanti
Oh,
TV it's a Netflix show following them around. I don't, they dated in the past and he got with somebody else. They separated and they've come back and married and had a kid. And so the newest thing, I guess, I haven't seen an episode, but this is what I've been seeing on feeds and stuff, is that he said he's not changing Pampers.
mira nomás.
I know.
Not change. Ashanti. Sheesh.
No. I
I don't. Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
yeah.
I mean, now if they have the money for a nanny to do that all the time,
Yeah, I guess. But I've heard other people not in their price range, more my price range, who've said that they're not changing Pampers. And I'm like,
oh
yeah,
no,
no.
we have. There's no option. You can't opt out. You mean I'm the one? First of all, if you were the parent that was always breastfeeding, I think there should be a balance,
Yes.
right? Like, no, pick him up, take him, get him dressed, or change
Yeah.
his diaper.
Exactly.
But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm the machine that feeds your children, you're changing the diaper.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't think men like that existed anymore.
Apparently they do.
You machistas.
I know. I don't know. Ephraim changed every one of the kids.
Yes, as he should have.
Yeah. You know? He would. It'd either be, do you want to cook or do you want to take or watch the kids? And so and part of that, if I chose to cook, which was rare, but if I chose to cook and he was watching the kids, that included Pampers, feeding, changing, bathing if they poop on themselves, the nice one that goes up the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, lovely. Lovely.
Um, I would Joseph shot poop out,
Ah,
and this is he was still a baby because it was the yellow poop. So he was still
he's
little.
still baby.
He was still baby, right? So Ethan was changing his pamper, and he went to go get the wiping, and Joseph just let it all out, and he was like, looks down, it's like, I'm wearing a black shirt, and there's all this yellow stuff. That's the only time he was like, I can't do it. I got to change. And for that, okay, that is
Yes.
fine. You don't have to
Yeah.
change that pamper.
Let me step in. You go take care of you.
Tag, I'm it.
Yes,
You go take
for
care
sure.
of that shirt.
I mean, Ephraim was like at a 60 at that point, 60% functioning parent. You were at 100. You come on.
Yeah.
You fix
yeah.
it. You take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But to just come out and say I'm not changing pampers,
No, no. Even if we were to have another baby, I know we're not, but I mean, but even with the other children, even with Diego, he was really good about taking care of him and watching him and doing all of that. I
yeah,
don't. I got lucky, I guess. I don't know. We got lucky.
we got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, I'm gonna watch it because I want to see where this goes.
yeah, and then you were
I mean,
telling
because
me
he's already made demands también about, where they're gonna live.
Mhm.
It ain't gonna be New York, and she looked at him like, it's gonna be New York.
I'm like, these are the
So
types of conversations you're supposed to have before.
before, before you get married. I mean, and they've known each other forever,
Ever.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think they would know that, but yeah, yeah,
Here we go.
content for the show.
Right, content for the show. But you said you saw a really good movie.
Yeah. I think before my summer started, it was Straw with Tiffany. No, it's
No,
not Tiffany Haddish. It's I'll remember it. But it is a really good movie.
Taraji P
Uh,
Henson.
thank you, thank you, thank you. See, I'm not gonna call it a senior moment. I'm just gonna call it brain fog. But no, she did wonderful. It was a wonderful performance, and I know you mentioned something about it, kind of looking like
John Q.
John Q. And really, I think and I understood that.
Hmm.
He's a dad wanting to make sure, he gets health care for his child. But this one was very much about the woman's perspective on a daily basis.
Hmm.
Just trying to survive, trying to make it. Uh, and you have to watch it to kind of understand her mental state. And I always feel like watching, and I'm sure a lot of women felt the way I'm about to say describe, is like it's a very fine line between keeping it keeping your shit together
Hmm.
and then losing your shit, right?
Hmm.
It's a very fine line, and if you're not strong, if you don't have that internal grit to keep it
Going.
going on a daily, yeah, that it's gonna hit the fucking fan. And excuse my
Mm.
language, it's going to catch up to you. And I reflected back on that film and thought to myself, um, there's a lot of because we're educators. I always
Hmm.
think of my students. I thought about how who is not coming in with a good strong foundation
Hmm.
to be able to make it into the next chapter in their lives, right? Because we
Right.
deal with high school. And so I was just like, man, and as crazy as it was in my household, the foundation wasn't as sturdy,
Hmm.
but I like to think that I was able to break certain
Yeah.
cycles of abuse, poverty, um, you know, uh, depression, and because of that, because I did seek it, I did seek out help, I did seek
Hmm.
out therapy, I did seek out, being around good, strong people who kind of had the same mentality as I did. I think I turned out pretty good,
Yeah.
right? But there's some students, there's colleagues maybe even who didn't have that foundation and as strong as mine, right? And
Yeah.
and it leads to this, a very fine line
That's
between
yeah.
the two.
You said therapy. I've been to therapy. You know, um, therapy's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It's helpful to have that um, outside perspective.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you don't believe in therapy, try it once, and
Oh,
you'll feel 10 times
yeah. I
better.
mean, especially in our culture, Renee,
Yeah.
we don't push therapy like we should, and
Mm-mm.
and you're right. That one session,
Mhm.
you're gonna want to go to another session. You're gonna
Yeah.
want, maybe after those are or have wrapped up, you're gonna seek out a new therapist because
Yeah.
maybe there's other questions you have, and it is it. I'm not saying it's addictive, but it definitely helps, and
Yes.
because they in my experiences, they just realign everything that you kind of got yourself a little off the beaten path, right? And
Yeah.
so it kind of helps you bring it all back together. And
I
yeah,
I think a lot of people too don't want to. We don't like to be told what we're doing wrong. And yes, therapists will, but it's not just to like you're wrong and be end of it. It's like let's see why you got here, and how can
mm-hmm,
we change it so it doesn't get here again. So
there you
yeah,
go.
they do call you out on it, but it's for like a learning moment. Like how can we better
Yeah.
ourselves and give you the right. I know I hate using this word all the time. Tools to not
Ooh.
get the tools to get you to where you can do better on this part, and
Yeah,
that's
I
that's
mean, I remember, I attended group therapy for grief, and when my sister passed away, and it really, if it wasn't for that, coming to a group
hmm
and talking about, everyone had lost someone, and it just felt like, okay, this is where I needed to be, instead of, the alternative, which is at a bar,
right.
right? And because we're prone to alcoholism, and so I just knew that was the better place than another, right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, it just, yeah,
So I never did
but you
group.
have to do the work, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, the tools, they're going to provide the tools, and then
You
you
just
have
got
to
to
use
use them. Yeah.
them.
I didn't go to group therapy. I did the one on ones.
Mm,
I did the one on ones, but they really did help. They really
yeah.
um I might need to go back again just to get that, like you said. And it's not a bad thing just to realign
Mm-mm,
yourself. You know,
mm-mm.
you're not going in there because of issues within your relationship. It might be, but a lot of times,
Yeah,
if you look at issues in your relationship, it's an issue within yourself.
yeah.
You know, and so, but no, I did spend a lot of time at therapy while my mom was transitioning into the, the
Mm,
after, because my
yeah.
mom had about 2 months in that transition time, so and that was hard for me, and so that's when I spent the most of my time, and I'll go like every 6 months just to kind of clean up, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
it's great.
and I think it's great that the schools provide them for our students now.
Hmm. And depending on your district, right? For our colleagues out there, um, we get 10 sessions paid
Yeah.
for, in our insurance. So it is important. It's important. I like to think that if they're offering that, it's because, hey, go take care of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
come back, come back and do it again.
Yeah. Yay.
Oh, girl, go back.
Well, all right, guys. That is us for today.
Wow.
I know. I know. So help us. We've got teenagers. How do we keep them? And maybe we'll talk about this next time. Let us know what are some ways to keep these teens like off their phones during the summer. What can we do with them to make? I know we didn't talk about this, but um, just give us some suggestions so we can get their butts out the house.
Yes.
Get them out the
Yes.
bed and doing something, and maybe I'll have suggestions. Let us know in the comments.
Yes, please do.
But all right, with I'm stumbling.
No, not you.
Thank you guys for being here, listening to us today. I am Renee.
And I'm Christina. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.